You will have to bear with us. बीच में थोड़ी इंटरनेट की कनेक्टिविटी की प्रॉब्लम हो गई थी, बट माय कॉलीग्स हु आर ऑर्गेनाइजिंग दिस वो बाद में सारा इकट्ठा पोस्ट कर देंगे. बट लेट्स स्टार्ट वेयर वी लेफ्ट ऑफ. उषा, टेल मी.
Sir, lot of questions on about the domestic travel which is going to commence on 25th, that is the Monday. So they have so many doubts where what would be the quarantine, what we will be doing when we enter the airport, and various questions on the domestic travel.
Well, some of the anxiety one can understand because after a 2-month lockdown period, आप एकदम शुरुआत करेंगे तो थोड़ी सी लोगों के मन में डाउट्स होंगे कि कैसे किया जाए. पर हमने बहुत डिटेल्ड एसओपीज इशू की हैं. आपको हवाई अड्डा आपकी उड़ान के 2 घंटे पहले आना होगा. कोई फिजिकल चेक इन नहीं होगा, वेब चेक इन होगा. सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग रखनी पड़ेगी एयरपोर्ट पे, और बाकी सारे जो प्रोसीजर्स हैं वो आपको हमने ऑलरेडी सर्कुलेट कर दिए हैं. मैं, if you like, I can slowly read through some of those. These are the general instructions contained in the SOPs we've issued. On the day of commencement, only 1/3 of the operations will be permitted. Further augmentation of flights will be done in a calibrated manner. इसका मतलब ये है कि हम देखें अगर 3-4 दिन अच्छी तरह चलती हैं और डिमांड है और हमारा लॉजिस्टिक्स अरेंजमेंट स्टेट्स के साथ ठीक चल रहा है तो हम बढ़ा भी सकते हैं. Vulnerable persons such as very elderly, pregnant ladies, passengers with health issues are advised to avoid travel. Here I want to draw your attention to the word advised to avoid. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आपको ट्रैवल करना बहुत जरूरी है और आपको जाना ही है तो आपको जाने से कोई मना करेगा. ये हमने एडवाइजरी दिया आपके अपने इंटरेस्ट में. नो फिजिकल चेक इन एट एयरपोर्ट. वेब चेक इन शैल बी अलाउड एट द एयरपोर्ट. एयरलाइन शुड अडहियर टू द लोअर एंड अपर लिमिट्स ऑफ फेयर्स प्रिस्क्राइब्ड. जो मैंने अभी आपको बताया, दिल्ली मुंबई रेंज के लिए 3.5 से 10,000 थे रेंज था. A self-declaration or Arogya Setu app status for compatible device would also be obtained that the passenger is free of COVID-19 symptoms. इसको जरा ध्यान से सुन लीजिए. That the passenger is free of COVID-19 symptoms. Passengers with red status in Arogya Setu would not be permitted to travel. So self-declaration का क्या मतलब है? देखिए, इसमें एयरलाइन जानकारी देंगी. जब आप चेक इन करेंगे तो चेक इन के दौरान बिल्कुल क्लियर होगा कि आपका बोर्डिंग पास ही तब आएगा जब आपके पास चेक इन के समय यू आर एबल टू गिव दैट सेल्फ डिक्लेरेशन. इनसाइड द एयरक्राफ्ट पैसेंजर्स विल बी रिक्वायर्ड टू वेयर प्रोटेक्टिव गियर, फेस मास्क. एयरलाइंस शैल नॉट प्रोवाइड मील सर्विसेज ऑन बोर्ड. The cabin crew will be required to be in protective gear, in protective suit. Only one check-in bag will be allowed. Within the aircraft, there will be no newspapers or magazines provided by the airline. Use of baggage trolleys will be minimized, and passengers should report at least 2 hours before departure time. There are other issues in the prescribed in the guidelines in the SOP. The airlines will give the names of the people in the passenger manifest to the state UT government, and clearly that will facilitate follow up. अब मान लीजिए स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को मालूम है इस फ्लाइट पे इतने लोग आए, उनका ये टेलीफोन नंबर है, उनका ये आरोग्य सेतु स्टेटस है, उन्होंने सेल्फ डिक्लेरेशन दी है. खुदा ना करे बाद में कोई प्रॉब्लम भी उठती है, देन वी कैन फॉलो अप.
There are 2 international operation to specific countries, like there are some people asking for Germany, some people for Tanzania, when we are going to get the flights?
All these we already have flights to Germany. I know we will add some more. We will, now that the private airlines are also going to be joining us. At least one private airline has limited capacity for long haul travel. The others, I think, can do one hop. So we are going to be increasing our capacity, augmenting our capacity to carry people both on the outward journey and the incoming journey.
Some of them are asking, please start phase 3 as soon as possible and increase the number of flights.
Your wish is my command, or whatever the expression in the English language is, we will certainly do so.
Why don't you permit all GCC carriers to fly to major cities in India, say only twice a week? By this, only people who really need to travel or relocate will fly. Thousands have lost jobs. Also, why no flight from Bahrain to Bangalore direct?
First of all, I don't understand the question. It's not a question of, I don't know why we are asking questions which are carrier specific. We have enough aircraft in India. We have 650 aircraft in the Indian civil aviation inventory. 650 aircraft का मतलब क्या हुआ कि हम सबको लगा दें तो ये सारी इवैक्यूएशन एकदम हो जाएगी, पर हमने शुरू की थी, हमने ऑलरेडी कर दिया. दूसरी बात ये है कि आप जीसीसी कंट्रीज की बात कर रहे हैं, और वो जो गल्फ कंट्रीज है वो तो इंडियंस को वापस ही नहीं आने दे रहे, और जो हिंदुस्तानी हमारे नागरिक वहां, वैसे उनको भी वो वापस भेज रहे हैं. तो मेरे को ये जीसीसी की एयरक्राफ्ट की बात समझ नहीं आ रही. हमारी एयर इंडिया हैज एयरक्राफ्ट, इंडिगो हैज एयरक्राफ्ट, स्पाइस जेट हैज एयरक्राफ्ट, गो एयर हैज एयरक्राफ्ट, एयर एशिया हैज एयरक्राफ्ट, विस्तारा हैज एयरक्राफ्ट. I mean, why can't we use our own aircraft? And we are going to use our own aircraft.
Not many online questions, sir. Ritika and Anita are asking about refund. Again, asking whether you can give guidelines to Air India to fully refund.
Look, we have already dealt with this question. I don't think this is efficient use of everybody's time. During the lockdown, what happened? People who stranded, we have given an advisory and directive on full refund. Rest is an arrangement between passengers and airlines. We can always advise them, but it's a commercial arrangement between passengers and airlines.
Some people are getting calls twice even after reaching India through repatriation, and others are getting no calls even after waiting for 15 days. This is clear mismanagement by embassies. At least they can delete names of those who can come back, who have come back.
No, I don't understand. What is the mismanagement?
They are saying that the people who are waiting there are not getting the calls from the embassies.
This is not correct. If you were in the embassy and you had to deal with a very large number of people, and it's not a question of everybody. I have members of parliament who, instead of doing anything else, they just send a tweet. So and so is stuck in such and such place. That's not the issue. For every one seat that we have, we may have 1,000 people wanting to come back. So the embassies have been told to prioritize the people who will be repatriated according to a criteria. And that criteria is being followed by the embassy. Now, if and when we complete that criteria, we can bring in the others. Now, one of the criteria was that the people who have to be brought back are Indian citizens. Now, with the Indian citizens, first of all, whom do we have to bring back? Those who are distressed, those who are stranded. इसमें से कई कैटेगरीज ऐसी है जिनका वीजा खत्म हो गया, तो जो जहाँ पे वो गए हुए हैं उनका वीजा खत्म हो गया और अथॉरिटीज से सेइंग आप जाइए, तो उनको हमें पहले लाना है. इक्वली जो डिस्ट्रेस में है, people who don't have money, who have they have lost their jobs. So this is not a comprehensive plan to bring back every Indian. अगर वो होता, there would be a different ball game. We have 9 million people of Indian origin or Indian nationals in the Gulf. We can't bring them all back, and they don't all want to come back. So there is a criteria. So I think as ever so often, a lot of people, when they are posting comments on social media, they say what they feel like without fully understanding what the issues here are.
Yes. So we have a specific question about the flight to Toronto. Many of our visas are expiring soon. When can we expect additional flights to Toronto?
Well, we are adding flights, long haul flights on a daily basis. And I think the visa issue is a concern. But surely, if you have a regular job or etc., and the visa somehow is coming up for renewal, I've heard many governments say that they are rolling over or they will provide a rollover and an extension of the visa to meet this particular circumstance.
There are questions about the domestic operations from one state to another. We need to have the e-permit. Please inform.
Okay, we are dealing with three sets of issues here. One is travel of Indians who are normally resident abroad back to their places of normal residence. Normal residence. बैठ जाइए दोनों आप. Those are people normally residents. They may not be living in the metropolitan city from where the flight is taking place. Let me give you an example. Even in normal times, flights did not take place to Toronto from all Indian cities. Toronto or Vancouver got flights from major cities, maybe Delhi, Mumbai, etc. Now the question is interesting. If you are normally, let us say, a citizen in Coimbatore, so in normal times what would happen? You would come from Coimbatore to a point from where a flight to Toronto takes place. Now, when Vande Bharat mission was operational by itself, this was a problem. But when Vande Bharat mission is going to be operational, with domestic civil aviation started, the problem is resolved itself. Where the person will come in from a city, get onto the main city and then carry on. The third issue is if you're living in Gurugram and you're coming to Delhi, that's a local management issue. I don't think there is any real issue on that. Now, Toronto has been listed. Let me just tell you, that's one city that you are mentioning. We have flights Toronto to Delhi on 22nd, 23rd and 26th of May. And these are wide-bodied planes. These are Boeing 777, 300 or 600. कितनी कैपेसिटी है उनकी कोई?
300 plus.
300 plus. So 3 flight में 1000 लोग तो आ जाएंगे उसमें. And also from Delhi to Toronto, there are flights on 23rd and 26th. So many of these questions are genuine, but the process or the process of resolving the issue is already in place. So this is work in progress.
Regarding these arrangements which are made in airport, you may mention a little bit because when they come in, how the arrangements have been made in various airports in India.
Look, there will be no queuing, there will be social distancing. Just now the other services in the airport like the restaurants etc. are not available. We will have to take a call on when to permit that. There will be web check-in. There we will try to minimize the use of trolleys. We will take other precautionary steps. And at the end, we please follow the guidelines for the airport, for domestic. We have issued very detailed guidelines on what has to be done when you enter the terminal building. What I will do is, can we have this put on the screen as a guideline? इसको बाद में, so that we don't take up, बड़ी details guidelines है. For instance, at the terminal building, the person should get down from his or her vehicle with the face mask on and with the required documents, e-document. He would continue to wear his face mask throughout the journey. She will walk in the forecourt area and arrive at the thermal screening facility near the gate. He should get herself checked for temperature. This will be done by a designated staff at the airport. The status of Arogya Setu should be displayed to the staff. मैंने अभी आपको दिखाया. Once you show that you are here, Arogya Setu, you are safe. Then it says what? The passenger shall then move to the CISF counter at the entry checkpoint. she shall display, show his own identity card, the boarding pass, e-boarding pass to the CISF staff. The CISF staff, on confirming the identity of the person, shall allow him or her in. Passenger shall then proceed to the baggage. So सब detailed में airport पे क्या करना है, और ये भी करेंगे. आज की जो वेब इंटरैक्शन है, हमारी फेसबुक लाइव इंटरैक्शन है, ये भी जो है इसके हम बॉक्स में आइटम्स बनवा के क्या करना चाहिए बिफोर यू कम टू द एयरपोर्ट, क्या करेंगे वाइल्स्ट यू आर एट द एयरपोर्ट, ऑल दिस वी विल पुट आउट. Infographic will be done.
Vishnuvardhan Reddy, it's an online question. When will private airlines join Vande Bharat mission?
I have already clarified. हमने ये शुरुआत की थी 6 मई को, और ये वंदे भारत मिशन की शुरुआत के कुछ ही दिन बाद हमारे पास डायरेक्टली नहीं पर फीलर्स आए कि ये बहुत अच्छा एफर्ट है भारत सरकार का, मोदी जी की सरकार का, और प्राइवेट एयरलाइंस भी इसके साथ जुड़ना चाहते हैं. तो मैंने पब्लिक इंटरैक्शन में कहा कि वी वुड बी वेरी हैप्पी. अब उसके बाद अभी जब डोमेस्टिक सिविल एविएशन शुरू होने के पहले हमारे जो मंत्रालय में सचिव हैं श्री प्रदीप खरोला, उन्होंने सबको बुलाया, और इनमें से कई प्राइवेट एयरलाइंस जिन्होंने ऑलरेडी मंजूरी दे दी है, और अगले कुछ ही दिनों में प्राइवेट एयरलाइंस विल स्टार्ट ऑपरेटिंग वंदे भारत फ्लाइट्स.
Again related to international travel, sir. We are stuck in China and Taiwan with no flights under Vande Bharat mission. When can we expect flights?
I will have to answer that question in terms of a best endeavor. देखिए, we were one of the first countries in the world to stop flights from China. उसका कारण आपको पता है, मैं ज़्यादा डिटेल में नहीं जाना चाहूँगा. उसके बाद में कई ऐसे देश थे जहाँ से जो फ्लाइट्स आ रही थी, हमें उनकी बड़ी कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव स्क्रीनिंग करनी पड़ी. करीब 15,28,000 लोगों की हमने स्क्रीनिंग की हमारे 30 अंतर्राष्ट्रीय हवाई अड्डों पे. और यहाँ पे जो है कब से शुरू होगा आई डोंट नो. मैं आपको थोड़े से आंकड़े देना चाहता हूँ. द टोटल फ्लाइट स्क्रीन्ड एट इंडियन एयरपोर्ट फ्रॉम 18th January 23rd March. टोटल नंबर ऑफ फ्लाइट्स 14,154. टोटल नंबर ऑफ पैसेंजर्स स्क्रीन 15,24,266. Total passengers referred, total evacuation from Wuhan, all these statistics we've got. Now, when can we start a flight from a particular place from where the pandemic started? We have already repatriated people from Wuhan by Air India, 654 people. We have evacuated by the Indian Air Force from Wuhan, 112, including 36 foreign nationals. So I have that, but I am not in a position. You see, when somebody says, why don't you bring in somebody from a particular country in Latin America? If that country is a hot spot, there may be other considerations. But as I said, we recently, I think, had a flight coming in through some other airline. People were brought in from Argentina, Chile, and other countries, and then on to India. So these are cooperative efforts which are underway.
This is one specific question from Anusha. EU nations allowing people with Type D visa.
With?
Type D visa.
Yeah.
They have changed rules. Why are airlines not allowing people to board?
I'm afraid I don't know what a Type D visa is, even though I spent 40 years in another profession. But I don't know what a Type D visa is and what it is. But if the person asking the question, if they can send me an explanation what it is, we'll certainly take it up with the airline. But let me tell you, the airline has no interest in your precise visa status other than the airline must be allowed to carry you as a bona fide passenger. If you have entry at the point of destination, the airline has no difficulty in carrying you. I mean, there was a problem in between when Delhi airport, some students, I think 4 students were denied boarding, but it turned out to be correct because apparently the visa was valid, but the concerned authorities in the United States were taking the view that if the universities are closed, why are the people coming back? Because they may not be admitted at the point of entry, which would have meant that the student would have flown from here to San Francisco and then not be allowed entry. So we had to sort it out. So whenever you start an operation like this, there is teething problem, there are some issues, but then you try to resolve them. And I think by and large, we have succeeded in resolving them.
Sir, one question about asking why only Kerala state have many flights under Vande Bharat? Why not AP, Telangana and other states?
It just so happened, I don't know, first of all, I don't know whether I should answer this question, but I'm going to answer it in a lighter way. I think most of my Malayali friends, many more of my Malayali friends have gone abroad in recent years to places like the Gulf, and that is where the pressure to come back is. Which does not mean that the number of people from Andhra Pradesh or Telangana is less, or it also doesn't mean that people from Punjab are not wanting to come back. So this is a refrain that I listen to constantly. Why are you not bringing flights to Amritsar from London? Why are you not? Ever since I contested an election from Amritsar, Amritsar has got a Toronto flight, Amritsar has got everyday flight to Birmingham, Amritsar airport is now for privatization. ये तो चलता रहता है. But not because I contested an election from there. It happens because those are the circumstances which come. In a Joe happens, I can give you this thing. You have to, I must say, at the end of the day, even to draw a mother's attention, a child has to do a bit of crying. So the state governments have to take the lead. And I must say, some state governments are more active than other state governments. I'll only say that.
Okay, sir. Again, Vande Bharat, they are from Nigeria, so no flight from Africa. Nigeria is multiplying cases.
Madam, let me stop you there. This is not a correct characterization. No flight from X, no flight from Y. Even in normal times, there were no flights. So here you are trying to schedule flights from where you normally had flights. I mean, I'm doing Toronto because I had flights from Toronto. I'm doing JFK in Chicago. So you can say that it can be a legitimate expectation by people who are stranded. Like one of my colleagues, a party MP said, there are 300 people stranded in Algiers or Morocco, Algeria or Morocco. Yes, we'll try and do it. But the question cannot be, why no flight from there? Even when there was no COVID-19, there was no flight to many of the countries which are now being named. They are not part of our civil aviation operation. But yes, we'll try. If there are people there, what we will do is that we will ask them to come by some other carrier to a point in Europe, and from Europe, where we have a normal Air India operation, we will try and bring them back.
To be fair to questioners, sir, many of the questions starts with the comment that efforts in Vande Bharat mission is commendable.
No, that's good. But on the other hand, Vande Bharat mission has a limited objective. Let me explain. Vande Bharat mission is designed to bring back those Indians who are distressed and are in difficult situation in countries because they have no visas there, their jobs, they've lost their jobs. And the idea was to carry out a limited operation. We have expanded that operation and we are willing to expand it further till such time as normal civil aviation operations assume. Now, if you are, for instance, an Indian stranded in Brazil, we never had a flight to Brazil. I was ambassador to Brazil. I tried very hard. But what you can do is you could bring some of those passengers from Brazil to South Africa or Brazil to a European point, and then Air India can pick them up. Now, Usha ji, let me share one statistic through you with our viewers. We started the operation initially as from 12 countries. Today we are scaling up and we have 50 countries. So, I mean, almost 1/4 of the world is being covered, and all the major places are being covered. Now, for instance, we have earlier Australia was left out, we got Australia included. We got Japan was left out, Hong Kong was left out. Now places in Africa, we are getting even people back from Latin America through these arrangements which I have highlighted.
Sir, Papa Haldar from I think West Bengal, Ankit, उनका है कि दुबई से जयपुर फ्लाइट चाहिए, कतार से कोलकाता, why no flight?
देखिए, why no का तो आंसर मैं दे नहीं सकता हूँ. उसमें ऐसा है कि अगर आप लिमिटेड फ्लाइट चला रहे हैं तो ये हर एक के होम टाउन में आप नहीं जा सकते. पर वैसे मैंने कहा कि एक बार शुरू हो गया, वंदे भारत की फ्लाइट्स बढ़ जाएंगी, साथ में डोमेस्टिक सिविल एविएशन शुरू हो जाएगा, तो मैं समझता हूँ अगर दुबई से जयपुर डायरेक्ट फ्लाइट चलेगी तो अच्छा है. दुबई से भुवनेश्वर चली गई, दुबई से मंगलुरु चली गई, उस हमने उसके लिए प्रयास किया है और हो भी गई है, बट सब जगह नहीं जा पाएगी। पर डोमेस्टिक सिविल एविएशन शुरू होने के कारण we will be able to provide the feeder support which is required, which we are doing.
Okay, I think they're talking of cross-border airports. Rule should be if ticket is there, then that pass should be available to go to airport. This is a question from Suhas.
All these suggestions we will happily collate, we will be able to write them down, we will discuss them with the concerned authorities, and we will try and see what best we can do.
This is very, very specific to the quarantine. What is the process of quarantine? Are travelers allowed to quarantine at home or any mandatory quarantine at the government center? Your response will help me and my wife to plan a trip back home with our 7-month-old baby.
देखिए, जहाँ तक वो बात चल रही है बैक होम विद वाइफ एंड बेबी, मुझे लगता है द क्वेश्चनर इज आउटसाइड इंडिया, तो माय आंसर टू देम इज वेरी क्लियर. You will have to come back to India and be subjected to mandatory 14-day quarantine. This could be either in a paid quarantine of your choice, a 3-star hotel or elsewhere, or it could be a government designated facility.
So more and more questions on connectivity, Kolkata to Ahmedabad, then they're asking from Delhi to Vienna, specific questions to connect some city pairs.
See, let me outline a scenario. You have full domestic and international operations up to 23rd March or thereabouts. Then you have a lockdown. And the lockdown is complete for 2 months. And now you're opening up. Now you cannot open up from a total lockdown to complete opening. So you will have to look at issues of synergy between domestic and international. तो अभी इंटरनेशनल में हम जो हमारे नागरिक who are stranded and in distress in cities abroad, पहले हमने 12 देशों से किया, अब 50 देशों से कर रहे हैं, and I'm sure आने वाले दिनों में इसको बढ़ा भी लेंगे. We'll add the number of countries, we'll add the number of cities from which we are carrying out these evacuation right. Similarly हम domestic को भी खोल रहे हैं. अब domestic खोलने के बाद एक ऐसी सिचुएशन होगी, then once the overall, at 30% of domestic, and let's say only 25,000 people brought back, let's say 50,000 people brought back by the end of the month, there is limited conversion. But we will open this up, and after a while, this is only a transit arrangement. Once we are in normal economic functioning, then the full domestic opening and full international thing, that will take care of itself.
Sir, there are many questions related to connectivity to US, United States, whether more flights in phase 3 of Vande Bharat.
Answer is yes. And answer is, this is an ongoing effort. I've just been given, the collective data I have of people who have been evacuated from different places. From London, the figure is 3,275. From different places, I have the figures, and I must say these figures are growing. From the United States, total from San Francisco, Newark, Chicago, New York is 2,535. But it's growing. So more flights will be added from the UAE, which is UAE means Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah. Its total is 5,231. London is 3,275. So we will add all this as we go along. And this is work in progress. But as I said, initially the start was slow because the state governments had initially doubts, then they were coming in, then we wanted to reassure ourselves that our quarantine arrangements were okay. So now we are proceeding with that.
Online questions are again,
दरवाजा बंद है
there are
और एयर कंडीशनर तेज करना. हाँ?
many questions online
Yeah, please.
pouring in. Shreya,
1 minute, I've just been given an interesting figure on the number of questions which are coming in, that till 2 p.m. we have 24,000 questions. And total of questions that have come in, 24,200. Let me put it in perspective. I don't think an experiment like this has ever been tried. You're using technology, you're using all the digital initiatives of the Prime Minister. And you know, it's only a Prime Minister who cares for all 135 crore Indian, which means I was very often asked this question, अरे भाई आप ये लोगों को ला रहे हैं हवाई जहाज में migrant labor. I said the Prime Minister is totally concerned with migrant labor, but what do you do अगर migrant labor उठ के पंजाब से यूपी या बिहार या उड़ीसा जाना पड़ता है तो हम क्या कह सकते हैं? हम तो एम्प्लॉयर को प्रधानमंत्री जी के ओर से यही कह सकते हैं कि भाई इनकी तनख्वाह देते रहो और दी तनख्वाह, और यही कह सकते हैं कि आप इनको जहाँ पे भी कोई समस्या हो like shortage of food etc, please provide food, all that we could do. But some of the people who are coming back from abroad, I must tell you, these are not rich people. These are again poor people who went as labor to the countries of the Gulf, people who went with basic skills, but also well-to-do people, but they lost their jobs. Now this is a narrative you are going to hear ever so often, that people, hard-working people who led very good professional life suddenly find themselves without a job, and the host country where they are living perhaps is no longer welcoming them. They have as much a claim, irrespective of the economic strata from which they come, they have as much of a claim to in Mother India as do you and I. So I think it's Modi ji's farsightedness as Prime Minister, where he was able to scan the horizon 360 and say everybody, and the arrangements we have in place. You know, in the beginning, I've written a piece in the Hindustan Times. I said, after that 20 lakh crore stimulus package, I said, if this isn't the stimulus package, then what is? Look, it's very easy for people to come in with a little critical tone here, little critical tone there. But you know, organizing a effort of this kind. Look, I'm not saying this because you are sitting here with me, but what you did, what the other stakeholders did on the Lifeline Udan is truly exemplary. I mean it. Look, we started with a lockdown. किसी को पता नहीं कि medicine कहाँ की कहाँ पहुँचेगी, कौन medicine लाएगा, will the hospitals in the northeast have it or not? But within a few days, you were able to organize an arrangement, and you were able to lift something close to 1,000 tons in a period from the day of starting of Lifeline Udan, which was on 26th
March we started.
26th March you started. You've already done 1,000 tons, and every day I get statistics ke itne hazar kilometer Lifeline Udan. Similarly, Vande Bharat. I must say hats off to all the professionals, Health Ministry, External Affairs, Air India, the carriers, airports, authorities, our Air Force, our Navy. You know, it's this collective effort which is in a position to carry out. And I said this can only happen with a political leadership and a Prime Minister who's hands-on in every respect.
Again, coming back to the online question, maybe you have to narrate why, what are the hindrances in starting international travel?
देखिए, why did the problem start? Problem started because, I'm talking about the virus, because some of our passengers coming in from foreign countries brought the virus with them. Okay? Prime Minister Modi was, I think, amongst all global statesmen, one of the first to realize the inherent dangers. We cut flights from China. I was part of that decision making very early in the day. We started, mujhe dates dena. We started screening passengers very early in the day. And we went, I remember, I can give you the timelines, they're very interesting. On 17th January 2020, 17th January, it is, you know how long ago that was. 3 airports, Delhi, Mumbai and Calcutta, started screening of passengers from China from 18th January. All the airlines coming from China started in-flight announcements. On 20th January, 7 airports, Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Kochi, Kolkata and Chennai started screening of passengers from China and Hong Kong. DGCA instructed all the airlines coming from China and Hong Kong to make in-flight announcements. Look, from there, from starting from 17th January, we then stopped flights from China. We started screening passengers. That screening process involved something like 14,000 flights. 15 lakh passengers were screened. and then we brought it. That's why today your overall number of fatalities is only 3,000 because of these timely actions. But after you have maintained a lockdown for a period of 2 months, you come to a situation where issues of life, important, crucial, but they have to be balanced with issues of livelihood. You can't keep economic activity closed. And therefore a decision has been taken, first to start domestic operations in a calibrated manner, and that's why we're starting on Monday. As I said, international operations, it depends on how the virus behaves outside. One of the questions earlier on had suggested that we maybe should start from August, September. I am much more optimistic. Dekho, lockdown to comes in one decision, but lockdown comes in one decision. The decision to open or exit the lockdown has to come in stages. Now, all the stages that we've done, bringing people in through Vande Bharat, starting domestic civil aviation, all these I think are preparations for international civil aviation to commence. I can't put a date on it, but if somebody says, can it be done by August, September, my response is, why not earlier? But depending on how the situation. Now, insofar as international civil aviation is concerned, you know there is a specialized agency of the United Nations. It's called ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization. It's headquartered in Canada, and it is going to be working on guidelines for international travel. And as those are developed, including through our participation, we will share them. And the whole effort is to bring in normalcy, normal economic functioning at the earliest possible.
There is one specific question on remove 1 year visa restriction for phase 3 of Vande Bharat mission.
Come again?
Remove 1 year visa restriction for phase 3 of Vande Bharat mission.
There is no such thing as long as your visa is valid at the point of entry. Your point, the country which is, you see, let me explain to you. We are not prescribing. We are just trying to avoid a situation where you get on a plane with a valid visa and you reach the other side and you are deported back. You know, democracies have this great ability. It is possible, for instance, at some stage, somebody said, what you are saying is not what the Home Ministry said. This is not what the Health Ministry said. By visa, I've been a diplomat for 40 years. A visa doesn't mean that the visa gives you unrestricted right. Yes, you have a right to come back, come into the country, but there may be other stipulations. All we are doing is those people who will be allowed entry. Now, some people don't have a visa, they have a permanent residence. We don't stop them from going. As long as you have a right and you are likely to be admitted at the other side, we will be able to do that. But again, these guidelines were put in place only to allow essential travel. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I have a few cases where I'm under a lot of pressure. No, my daughter-in-law is having a baby and I need to go because, you know, it's very important for me to be next to her. Look, in the eyes of the person wanting to travel, that is essential travel. It is, because daughter-in-law is very important. But in terms of the guidelines, it may not be important. So, if you don't prescribe a guideline, all kinds of people will come in. I told you one MP keeps tweeting, so-and-so stuck somewhere. I mean, I respect that MP's tweet, but you have to understand these guidelines were put in for essential travel. They prescribe conditions. They prescribe conditions which show which categories have to be given priority. As I said, once your number of flights increases and you have total freedom to travel, then you don't need to prioritize, and anybody who has a visa and anybody who has a ticket will be able to travel.
One more online question, sir. Mehek is asking, food will be served in flight from which date, or food can be served?
On domestic flights,
I think so.
well, currently we are very clear. Look, we already have enough issues. Social distancing, web, all those guidelines are read up. But more important than that, look, if you allow food, then you are bringing in the catering service. While serving food, there are issues. The virus could come on the paper, the virus could come as part of this listing. What is it? All the domestic sectors in India, short duration. As I said, the 7 segments we've got, are less than 40 minutes to a maximum of 3.5 hours. I mean, surely, I mean, if there's some very special condition. So I'm not going to answer that question. When will food be served? I mean, have a good meal at home and then come.
Sir.
And you know, but water will be available at the point of entry and inside an aircraft, in the seat and in front of you in that jacket, there will be water bottles.
That's very fabulous. There is one question from Sanchit, again an online question. After relaxation in OCI category, can OCI card holders travel under Vande Bharat, or do they have to wait for international flights?
OCI card holders can travel under Vande Bharat. That has been allowed now.
With conditions, whatever it is.
No, with the 4 categories which they have outlined. As I said, you know, because India, God has been kind to us and we have the benefit of numbers. So if you open it totally, you know, then there won't be any prioritization. So 4 categories are there of OCI card holders. Basically, you know, children born to Indian nationals and there where one category, so they can come. Let's say if your parents are Indian but you were born in the US, you have a US citizen, the child cannot be left behind. Then if the spouse is Indian, husband is Indian and the spouse is, or the other way around, is an OCI card holder, foreign national, they can come. And equally OCI people wanting to come for emergency situations.
Ayan is asking, sir, will there ever be any repatriation flight to West Bengal?
Why not? Why not? I already think that's been sorted out. I think there's some Vande Bharat flights coming to West Bengal, aren't there? I saw some exchange between one of their ministers and Ministry of External Affairs. Look, let's be very clear. The center has no difficulty in... yes, here I see Air India evacuation schedule, flights arrival into India ex-foreign station. On 18th May, there was a flight from Dhaka to Kolkata. So how does it say when they ever be? Today we are already on the 23rd, है ना? तो 5 दिन पहले हो चुकी है. Maybe the person asking the question is not aware of this. So clearly I remember an exchange and we had agreed to flights, and one flight came from Dhaka to Kolkata. It arrived at 12:30 in the afternoon.
Pranav is asking, why can't we make COVID test mandatory for all the passengers?
I don't understand the question. COVID test, if you have an Arogya Setu app and you are clear, what does he want, another test?
Maybe having a negative test before going.
Well, you know, we are just now carrying out 100,000 plus tests in a day. 100,000. But your population is many times the number. So it's not as if you are a state with unlimited. अगर कहीं symptoms ही नहीं है, आपका कोई contact ही नहीं हुआ, कोई बाहर से आने वाले व्यक्ति के साथ, आपको वैसे कोई problem नहीं है, तो टेस्ट का क्या, what is the दूसरा, अगर आप mandatory कर भी दें, you should be clear that test का result आने में 7 घंटे लगेंगे. So what are you going to do? You have a test, you come to the airport 7 hours in advance and take the test, then another 2 hours for other facility. Look, let's recommend things which are practical. And I have so far come across that on social media you get a little bit of why is this not enough, but when you tell them the full fact, like this question on West Bengal, when will flights to West Bengal? It's already taken place. We are willing to send more, but the state government must be ready to receive the flights.
This is a specific question. When is next flight to UK? Next flight to UK.
Next flight to UK I can check up, but there are so many flights to UK that I don't know why this question is being asked. I today came across an interesting case. Somebody told me something very interesting. अरे साहब मैंने तो कहा था मेरे को फ्लाइट में डालिए, उन्होंने इतनी जल्दी डाल दिया, अभी तो मैं तैयार ही नहीं हूँ. और एयर इंडिया के वेबसाइट पे all the flights to UK are mentioned. But I have this case this morning. Somebody said there is under strain, needs to go early. तो हमने कहा भेज दो. और कब सर नहीं, मैं तो होप कर रहा था Monday 25th को होगा, आपने अभी कर दिया. So because this is situation is changing.
One specific question, sir, from Malaysia. I think Malaysia embassy is closed. Where to contact, which number or email? I think
No mission is closed. They all have helplines. which for after office hours. I'm personally in touch with most of the ambassadors because I keep getting cases. So I keep getting messages saying that embassy वाले उठा नहीं रहे. बाद में पता लगता है embassy वाले तो उठा रहे थे, problem कुछ और थी. But let me say that they are all available. I can just tell you here, मलेशिया कोलालमपुर से करीब 1700 लोग ऑलरेडी आ चुके हैं. नहीं, वो एम्बेसी का ऑनलाइन नंबर मांग रहे हैं. अगर वो जो आफ्टर ऑफिस आवर नंबर हो तो वो आपको अभी दे देता हूँ. बट इट्स ऑल ऑन द वेबसाइट.
It's about the other transportation mode to reach the airport. So they are talking about what would be the communication to reach the airport, how the taxis would be available,
We
how
are-
states would be working with these details.
Madam, we are in touch with the state governments. I'm very happy that the state governments are already in touch with the concerned authorities. I think our guidelines say that should be authorized. Now, who will authorize? The state government will authorize. The local government will authorize. So उसमें ये होगा कि आप ऑलरेडी अगर आप मान लीजिए हवाई जहाज में आ रहे हैं और आपको मुंबई से एक फ्लाइट लेनी है. So the local government would have already authorized an agency which will be designated to carry you, and because it will be an authorized service, they will also be familiar with what permits are required, etc., etc.
Some questions are on operation of foreign airlines like Lufthansa, Qatar Airways, when they will be start coming.
I don't understand the question. Already those airlines which have to evacuate the nationals of their own countries, वो तो already आ रही हैं. अभी कई फ्लाइट्स हो चुकी है उन कैरियर्स की, क्योंकि जैसे हमारे नेशनल स्ट्रैंडेड है उन देशों में, कई उन देशों के जो नागरिक है वो यहाँ पे हैं. तो many evacuation flights have come. Have you got the details of how many evacuation flights from foreign countries have come here? I'll try and get that. I may even have the details.
So about the continuation of such questions, sir, when will SpiceJet Indigo flights start full operations, domestic as well as international?
देखिए, अभी तो let's take it in stages. अभी तो they have to start their operations domestically. Domestically from Monday 25th, they are starting 33%. Okay, and then gradually we will ratchet it up. But that's not an issue. That's not an issue. If we find that there is a lot of demand and the infrastructure, the logistics are falling in place, we could start it even earlier. We don't need to wait for any appreciable period of time.
Some point on Aerobridge, sir, which we are bringing the cargo, essential cargo to India, if you can give some details.
Aerobridge जो चाइना के साथ जो था, yes, I think that Aerobridge was functional. It's carried ये जो 1500 टन cargo आया है. I suspect much of that figure is on that Aerobridge, much of it. But then our Air India has also carried cargo supplies to our neighboring countries and some a little further. Essential medical supplies, large quantities of medicine, large quantities of other equipment. And as I said, the figure of Aerobridge जो बाहर से आया है वो 1500 टन है, और जो neighboring countries में हमने भेजा है, that is in the vicinity of something like 30 tons.
About this one-third capacity of the airlines as per their summer schedule. So how we are going to ramping up and how we are going to
Well, I
add more
suspect,
capacity.
I think I explained that, and maybe the question was drafted before my explanation was heard. देखिए, till 23rd March, till we went in for the lockdown, there was a full operational schedule. We went into a 60 days lockdown. Now it is not possible to open the entire sector in one go. For a number of reasons, you have to test your systems. Okay? I, for instance, today spoke to DGCA this morning, to Arun, and I asked him, what about the protocols, because aircraft have been on the ground. So he sent me a copy of his office memorandum, which very clearly said that during the lockdown period, there are certain issues which the original equipment manufacturer has to deal with, something airlines have to deal with, because after 60 days when an airline starts flying, you should have observed those protocols. And therefore, all this is being done. Now, when you open up, I tell you, in this morning I saw two pieces of news in two different newspapers. One is that when the first day the bookings opened, there was a great demand for flights, and something like 100,000 tickets were demanded, sold in the first few hours. But another newspaper had a slightly different story. You know what it said? It said there's tepid demand, people are still seeing what's happening. Look, this is all before the flights have started. We will have a review after a few days. We will see how the system is operated, what kind of consumer satisfaction is there, are there concerns in the area of logistics and health in terms of the protocols the state governments are prescribing. Do we need to revisit those? So everything is open. We learn through experience, and then based on that we will increase. 33% can go up to 50, it can stop at 35 for a period. All that is, something that we should not prejudge.
Ritesh is asking, 10,000 students stranded in Russia but only 6 flights.
If there are wide-bodied aircraft which has over 306 flights, which means by now they should have cleared nearly 2,000 passengers. So 10,000, 2,000 cleared in one go is not bad. And then we'll scale up. But also, Usha, I want to stress another point. Why should we look at total number there? Do they all want to come back? I was told earlier, a lot of people, when they hear that there's a 14 days mandatory quarantine, they may not want to come back. But I don't know. If they want to come back, yes, but these should be people who are genuinely stranded. Because it can't happen then after 20 days they'll say now they want to go back. Because there may not be those flights. So it's a situation which is one of a kind, and as we navigate through this situation, we are learning.
Some question on the ticket fare, sir, in Vande Bharat. Devesh Gautam is asking, Russia to India now fare is 55,000, normal fare is around 29,000. Can we make it affordable?
First of all, I don't agree with the assessment on what is affordable. Airlines have to carry out these operations based on some minimum economic viability. Now, these flights that we are sending to the Middle East, do you know something? They are not allowing Indian passengers to come back, Indian citizens to come back. So the flight virtually goes empty from here. And then the money we are charging to come back is 13,000. Alright? Similarly, the flights to Russia, I don't know whether they will be able to carry Russians here or Indians wanting to go to Russia. Therefore, the 50,000 or whatever figure is being given one way is not a high figure. It's a reasonable figure. Now, in airlines business, flights and costs vary from peak season to lean season, etc. But, we've been operating Vande Bharat flights now from 6th May, and we are already, at something like 16, 17 days of operation. These charges about the rates being high are very few suggested. I've had a colleague, a member of parliament, ask me also. Of course, with him I could speak in a lighter vein, and I was asked him whether he thought that we should hand over the operation of airlines to the Delhi Langar Society, because after all, you need to make an effort. So I was then told, you shouldn't say that. I said no, but if the airline is not able to recover even its operating cost on a trip like this, Air India already requires 600 crores of infusion of cash every month. So I think it's an excellent effort which has been put in place. It's doing very well, and the charges being levied are reasonable. And I want to again repeat it, except for a few places in Europe and the United States, maximum number of seats are vacant on the outbound flights. So, you have to look at the viability of the flight in overall terms.
Sir, more question on this domestic travel quarantine, where they say that why doesn't the state release a list of institutional quarantine center along with the destination for people to identify?
I would not want to comment on that. As I said, there is a meeting underway today. We are in touch with the state governments individually, etc. look, if you had opened up 3 days later or 5 days later, you'll have the same question. But I think this is a problem which will be resolved when you actually start operating the flights.
The pricing cap would also be applicable to the private airlines operating under Vande Bharat.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's not that we are fixing one set of charges for Air India and another set for Vande Bharat. It has to be the same price band for all of them. But that's one fixed price. There's no band there.
Connectivity to more countries, they're asking for Poland, and I have the list of
50 countries have to pass.
Netherlands.
Look, as I said, we already have 50 countries. I think the UN has a total of 193 member states. We have 50 already. But you know, if you're flying from 50 countries, which means you're able to take in people from more than 120. Because you know, if you are flying, let's say, from a place X, then several countries around that you can come. We are open to the idea, but this will have to be load based. This will have to be based on the genuine need to run, because this is not a normal civil aviation exercise. This is a special evacuation operation designed to bring back those of our colleagues and nationals who are stranded outside, who are in distress and stranded. Equally, those who are normally resident abroad, they have to come back because they have to go back because they are, you know, professionally, you know, they have a visa status problem, or they have jobs which they can no longer this thing. And as the economies in the Western world, in other countries begin to get back into normal functioning, you will find more and more people wanting to go back.
So now the operations are resuming, and will you come back live again after a week from starting?
Let me say, first of all, I want to thank all of you, my colleagues here who have made this possible, and I want to take the liberty of naming you. My friend and co-worker in the BJP, Neil Bakshi. I'm very happy that he's here, and he was also part of organizing this. I want to thank my social media team, Adil and Vrinda, and my other colleagues there. I want to thank the Airports Authority. I want to thank Mr. Pathak, all the others, some of my senior colleagues who helped design this, the secretary in the ministry, CMD Air India. They're not here because they're attending other meetings. I want to thank them. But most of all, I want to thank you, Usha, not only for being the architect of Lifeline Udan, but also sifting these questions along with Neil so that we've got an answer.
Thank you, sir.
I want to say two things. One, look, this is in many respects a new form of governance that you are seeing here. You have different parts of the government, those who are operational in terms of the major issues here, the health ministry, the home ministry, civil aviation ministry, different stakeholders. They are responding to what is happening by taking initiatives under the leadership of the Prime Minister with very clear guidelines. I mean, when we had to go into lockdown, there was nothing. We went into lockdown straight. And we gave a little notice. I remember I argued in one of those meetings. I said, if the lockdown is coming into effect on a day X, I need 2 more days for United States. So somebody in the meeting asked me why. I said, for the simple reason, it takes 18 hours for my plane, Air India plane, to travel between India and San Francisco. Then when the plane is in San Francisco, because you don't have any crew station there, it will need to be stationed there for a while, and then it takes 18 hours to come back. So we had differential dates. So the point I'm making here is that everybody has been proactive. They have really dealt with the situation on the ground, and I want to place on record my great appreciation for all the stakeholders, for them to come together and devise this scheme. And as I said, Vande Bharat is one aspect. Lifeline Udan is another aspect. The reopening of domestic civil aviation, I don't think we've given it any name yet, or maybe we would as we go along. These are all segments which reflect the same degree of cooperation which different stakeholders in the civil aviation sector have demonstrated. I'm on record in an interaction yesterday where I said I want to thank our private carriers also. They stood by us. You know, when there was talk of Lifeline Udan, private carriers came forward. I know at least two of them, I think SpiceJet and Indigo, carried out those operations. Vistara also carried out, others also. So, I mean, they stood by us in this. Secondly, when there was talk about the price band, I was told there would be a big revolt, they would be very unhappy, this is protection. Look, I requested the secretary to speak to them. I also spoke to them. And at the end of the day, I think everybody realizes that what we are doing is specific to an extraordinary situation that we find ourselves in. To make sure that tickets are not completely, they go through the roof, as it were, the prices. Because that will create a problem of a different kind. I'm not saying everybody is happy. You will never get 100% satisfaction if there is any such thing as 100% satisfaction. But we have to run a system. So my thanks to all the stakeholders, all the people who have cooperated in this, and I ultimately say a big word of thanks to the Home Minister, without whose help I would not have been able to navigate this, and finally the Prime Minister. I mean, he has in a hands-on manner been able to monitor, guide, and to be able to take us through different stages in this. But this is work in progress, as I said, and keep our fingers crossed. We have, I want to put on record my great appreciation for the other stakeholders in the system of cooperative federalism, the state government. Look, the battle is being fought to a large extent by the state governments. But the state governments are also fighting the battle with active collaboration and guidance, and in many ways, as you saw in the Prime Minister's announcement after his visit to the states of West Bengal and Odisha, when he announced immediate relief assistance. Look, we are all in it together, and therefore I think this is a good example of how different stakeholders in a system operate in a time of crisis. But answering your specific question, will I do it after a week? Let me put it differently. Would I be willing to do it after a week? Answer is yes. Answer is yes. But let's take a decision whether we need to do it after a week or 2 weeks. Because this is not the only interaction I have, live web interaction. I also have press conferences. On 6th May, we did a press conference by virtual, where we were on Zoom, and I was not very happy because we couldn't see each other. Yesterday or day before? Day before we did a press conference where we had the entire press corps, many 50-60 people physically present, but we had others on Zoom. On this, I am ready to do it. I'm quite happy to do it. But all I would say is let us choose the timing, because there are a lot of pressures on our district. But also when we do the next one, by that time we would have gained at least a week's experience on how the system is operated and what are the areas which need to be, finally tweaked. And let me conclude by saying Jai Hind, Vande Bharat, Vande Mataram, and Namaskar. Thank you very much.